Much like its location, Cubao X, this humble space serves as a haven for creativity, and people of different profiles and views cross paths. After all, Kendo Creative is called an open studio, undefined by its use, but rather by its users.
So Kendo Creative, we founded 3 years ago, and the idea was just to build a space that could be many things, right? My word for it at the time was a postmodern space. So if you're familiar with like postmodern philosophies, the idea is that different things mean different things to different people, kind of like that. So instead of creating a space that would dictate the activity inside, every time different people come in, that dictates what the space will become.
Named after the Japanese martial art Kendo, the space was envisioned as a venue where people can spar ideas and artistic expressions. And 3 years after opening their doors, it seems Kendo Creative has managed to do just that with its thriving community of artists and artisans.
So I would say that the space is definitely eclectic. I think it reflects the different people who are here. And that's another example of how the spaces kind of responded to the people who go into it. I use a word these days, Renaissance, right? As in Renaissance men and women, I guess you could say. Renaissance people, kind of well-rounded, have learned things for the sake of learning them. So you see that we're owner-run, we don't have any employees, right? So we are the baristas. My wife, who's a crafter, she does scrapbooking and carving, printmaking, all these things. She holds workshops here and like organizes for us here. So we're very hands-on. What's happened is that our tastes have kind of come together, and then as we've invited artists to come in and get involved as well, their tastes have also kind of influenced the space.
One of the many shapes Kendo Creative took was that of a co-working space. But unlike most, there is no hourly rate to work here nor free internet at your disposal. Instead, ideas are freely shared and discussions are encouraged.
We decided, what if we kind of went a total hipster route, right? And created a co-working space that wasn't called a co-working space, that had no internet, and you didn't have to pay to go into. So I think community-wise, that's what we managed to achieve, is that people come here to work. It's not really the kind of place where people like put on headphones and work by themselves. It's social. What happens is that they're maybe a little bit more creative because they're engaged with the people in the room, right? And that opens up a lot of discussion. I mean, we're still all online. I mean, you pull out your phone, you're online, right? But when you pull up something on your phone and you see it, you're gonna talk to people in the room about it. So there's a lot of that.
The space also functions as a cafe. The coffee bar is set up in the corner where creatives can refuel with hand-poured specialty coffee and cold brews.
If you kind of look around, you see different aspects of what make us us. You know, we're not a cafe. We're what we call an open studio, but coffee plays a big part. We see coffee as an art, right? As a creative act and a part of the creative process.
Caio showed us his brewing process, a technique that he personally developed. Served without sugar, cream, or milk, their coffee guarantees hours of woke conversations.
We're quite proud of our filter coffees. I currently hold second place in the Philippine Brewers Cup, which is quite an honor. I think it speaks to the quality of what we're doing here.
But if that caffeine fix still lacks that creative punch you need, cocktails might do the trick. And whether one comes in for a cup or a glass, Caio's aim is to have them stay and come back for more.
Our goal is not to get one person at the door, it's to get, you know, the 5th or 6th visit. So if you look at pricing, I think for specialty coffees and for hand brews, for pour-overs, most places are charging $160, $180, and that's a good price for that. But for us here, what we found is that by pricing at $80, instead of people coming back for this drink as a treat, they're coming in 3-4 times a week. And by doing that, it serves our greater need, which is to have a good community so that a space can develop a voice. I think that the voice of Kendo is unique. It's a little bit geek, it's a little bit art, it's a little bit coffee, it's a lot of talk.
Aside from the exchange of ideas, ingenuity also thrives in this space. Various arts, crafts, and apparel are consigned here. It serves as a platform to showcase the works of various indie artists and craftsmen.
It looks like it's all done by young people, but it's not. Like, we have people in their 40s and their 50s who put their work here. People who are dentists, who want to be leather crafters. Preschool teachers who want to be in cut and sew and accessories. And then you have furniture designers who want to make stickers. And we support that movement in particular, right? Enable artists to be artists.
It is challenging to categorize what Kendo Creative is as a place, but maybe that's the core of this space, to be unboxed and remain open so that creativity can flow and connections can flourish.
Maybe they'll be encouraged to try other things. You know, it's not too late. That's always my point of view. People always say life is short. I'm kind of taking like a longer look and saying, okay, life is long. You have time to make mistakes, you have time to do over. So we want to be one of the places, hopefully not the only place, where people can figure that out.